Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing all about the Stitchable Cards Kit Club, which is a kit club by Waffle Flower that combines cross-stitching and card making. They sent me this month's Want It All kit, so I'm going to share what comes inside and how to use it to make some cards. I'm going to link down below to the Stitchable Cards website so that you can check out the different kit options and the different subscription options. But for now, let's just jump right into checking out this amazing kit. First of all, I love when kits come in their own reusable pouches. This way, you can return the items to the pouch in between use, and then when you've completed the kit, you can use the pouch to organize other small items like die cuts or stickers. As you can see, the Want It All kit is literally jam-packed with a ton of supplies. You get a mini glue runner, you get the entire stitching kit, which includes a 22 John James tapestry needle, the Stitchable Cards floss name stickers, and the Stitchable Cards project card thread organizer, which I will share how to use together in a bit. You'll also get 2 packs of Stitchable Cards embroidery floss, which include all the colors you need to complete the 4 projects in the pattern guide. You also get 4 perforated stitchable shapes. They are super heavyweight cardstock, 130 pound, and they are perfectly die cut already for you. In this kit, you get one of each 4 shapes: the heart, the circle, the square, and the rectangle, which all have perfectly pinked edges. As for the card making kit, you receive 4 A2 top folding card bases and 4 A2 envelopes. These are both high quality and heavyweight cardstock as well. The full color pattern guide comes with basic instructions for beginners and beautiful patterns designed by Susan Bates. These are basic instructions on cross stitching and full guides, including colors to be used and a pattern for each die cut shape. There are foam lines in various widths, as well as a sheet of thin double-sided adhesive. As for embellishments, there are foiled die cuts for sentiments, die-cut pre-printed sentiment strips, sequined hearts with adhesive backing, and there are several sheets of Waffle Flower pattern paper from their 5.5 by 8.5 sheets that cut down perfectly into 2 A2 pieces, as well as clear sticker sentiments. Like I said, completely jam-packed. So let me share how to put together the project card. I learned this from the live that Nina from Waffle Flower and Susan Bates hosted on Waffle Flower's YouTube channel, so check that out if you want even more information. The circle pattern and the heart pattern used the same colors, and I knew I was going to create one of those, so I grabbed the stickers from that color key and added them to the rectangular openings on the project card. Once you've marked your project card with all the color stickers from the color key, it's time to add the floss. This keeps all the colors together on the card while you're working and allows you to pre-cut your pieces. Remove the little paper ends on the floss and then hold it open like a circle and unwrap a length of thread that you like to stitch with. Not too long so it doesn't get knotted up, but not so short that you're going to have to rethread every other minute. Double up these lengths and continue to recreate the floss in this way so that it is a much longer floss package than it was before. Once the whole thing is doubled up, grab one end and cut the loops. Then grab the other end and cut those loops. Now you have a stack of pieces of thread in the lengths that you like to stitch with. Double this stack and grab the middle, which is now a big loop. Starting at the back of the project card, push the loop through the hole whose sticker coordinates with the color of thread. Open the loop up and put the tails through that loop and pull on the tails until they tighten into a nice loose knot. Repeat this process for all the colors you need for your project, and now you have everything you need to get started. Now let's do some stitching and make some cards. I decided to start with the heart. So I grabbed that die cut perforated piece and I will use the pattern to determine how many stitches each line needs. For this background, I'm using 4 threads from 6 thread floss. I decided to switch to 6 threads for the other colors for the rosebuds and leaves simply because it does save some time not having to pull apart the floss. But all the patterns in the guide are stitched with 4 threads. The reason cross stitch is so fun and simple is that you're basically following a graph, counting the number of stitches you need on each line. You can create diagonal stitches across the line and then go back and stitch the diagonals in the other directions so that you can really get going once you get your groove. When you get to a line with mostly background and then a different color for a few stitches to create the other images, you can just skip and leave empty spots you need different colors for. This way you can finish with one color before moving on to the next. Here, the background was the majority of stitches, and then it was time to add the tiny rosebuds and move on to that slightly darker pink color. Using the guide and then finding the open spaces allowed me to quickly add in this next color. I did notice that sometimes my count was off, and that's completely okay. A homespun element like cross stitch on a card does not need to be perfect. So please don't pull out a bunch of stitching for perfection, just kind of go with the flow. You can cover it up with another color or just adapt the pattern to the stitching that you have. No one is going to look at your card and say, looks like you might have missed one too many dark pinks there. And if they do, they don't deserve your beautiful cards anyway. So now I'm going to continue stitching the other colors for the leaves and stems, and let me take this opportunity to explain a bit more about Stitchable Cards kits. These are bi-monthly kits. You can sign up for a standard subscription, which renews every 2 months, or you can prepay for 3 kits, which deliver every other month and save 7%. Or prepay for 6 kits, again delivering every other month, and there you save 15%. The subscriptions include free shipping within the United States. If you're not quite ready to subscribe, each kit will be available for a one-time purchase a month from the reveal date while supplies last. The next kit reveals on February 15th. Each kit has 3 options: the stitching kit, the card making kit, and the one-it-all kit. If you already have the Waffle Flower stitching dies, and I'll link to a video where I use those up in the right-hand corner above, then you might want to just grab the stitching kit for floss, patterns, project card, and other stitching tools. If you already own all the stitching goodies, lots of floss, lots of colors, maybe you just want to grab the card making kit, which includes the stitchable shapes, pattern paper, and other card making supplies. Or if you want to be able to recreate the samples in the guide and have everything you need to both cross stitch and turn those little masterpieces into cards, you should definitely consider the One It All kit, which has everything I showed at the beginning of the video, both stitching and card making supplies. So once all of your colors have been added in, it's time to add some detail outlines with black thread. The guide says they recommend 1 to 2 threads of the black floss for this, and you're going to do a simple back stitch to achieve that outline look. I used 2 threads and started off by following the lines in the guide for the first leaf. At first, I was doing 1 square back stitches and following the pattern directly, but then I realized that some of the lines of the pattern were longer than 1 square and could be done with longer back stitches. If you're changing direction, it can be best to keep the stitches small, but if you're going up against an entire line of stitches, you can make that back stitch several squares long if you want. It just depends on which look you prefer. I liked the look of the longer stitches, so I added outlines around the leaves and the veins for the leaves as well. You can see an area where I definitely messed up my count, and I just kind of went for it, adding a stem to the right-hand leaf where there really wasn't one in the pattern, but that is okay. The black is also used to add small stems and leaves for the rosebuds. This is another place where I messed up my count. I forgot to skip a stitch in the background, and so I'm missing a rosebud. I could totally go over the light pink with the darker pink, but I just decided to skip it. But I think all in my first attempt in a long time of following a cross stitch pattern, this turned out fine. Be sure to follow me on Instagram because I'll be sharing other cards I made with this kit in the next coming week or so. Now to turn this little cutie into a card. I've grabbed 2 pieces of the pattern paper that I think will coordinate nicely. I cut the green in half to make an A2 card panel. And then I cut the darker pink a little smaller so that I could mat it on top. I used the little dot adhesive runner to adhere them together. I'm going to use the adhesive sheet to adhere my cross-stitch piece to my card panel. So I cut a piece of the adhesive, slightly smaller than my shape, with non-stick scissors. Then peel back one protective layer of the adhesive and lay it down behind the stitching. This will keep all those little bits and pieces adhered together too. Then peel back the other protective layer and place the shape down on your card panel. For my sentiment, I grabbed one foiled die cut and placed a piece of foam lines behind it and then cut it with my non-stick scissors. I used a sub-sentiment strip and did the same thing with the foam lines behind that. Then I peeled off the back protective layers on both and placed them down on my card. Use that adhesive dot runner once again, this time to adhere the card panel to the top folding card base included in the kit. Don't forget that envelopes were included in this kit, so you can quickly send this sweet card right out. I used to love cross stitching when I was younger as a kid, and when Waffle Flower came out with their cross stitch dies, I was super excited to combine them both. These kits make it really easy, whether you're an advanced cross stitcher or a beginner. I'd love to hear if you've done cross stitching in the past, or if you'd love to try to combine it with card making now. Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to see more dies that are available from Waffle Flower for cross stitching, I'm going to link to a video over here. If you like seeing reviews of kits and new products, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can be notified every time I have a new video available. As always, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. Goodness, that was a lot of words. For both of you. Okay, now the brain's starting to get mush, so this is gonna have to be the last one that I film like this. Whether you're an experienced